In this unit, we're going to cover general issue license plates, metal dealer license plates, dealer temporary license plates, out-of-state license plates, temporary registration plates, and buyer provisional license plates. Here you see a Texas general issue plate. As a licensed Texas motor vehicle dealer, you're going to issue general issue license plates to vehicle purchasers at the time of the sale. I want to repeat that very important information. As a licensed Texas motor vehicle dealer, you will issue general issue license plates to vehicle purchasers at the time of the sale. When you're licensed, you're going to receive an inventory of general issue license plates like the one you see on the screen right here. Licensed motor vehicle dealers are required to use Web Dealer to receive their plate allocation from the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles. License plates will be managed using what's called the Inventory Management System, or IVR. General issue license plates will remain with the vehicle when it's bought, sold, or transferred. I want to repeat that very important information as well. A general issue license plate remains with the vehicle when it's bought, sold, or transferred. So this license plate stays with a specific vehicle. Dealers must submit a vehicle transfer notification, that's called a VTN, on behalf of the retail customer within 30 days of the sale or transfer in Web Dealer. All title transactions must be processed electronically through Web Dealer. I want to cover the very important regulations regarding general issue license plates. As a dealer, you're going to maintain an inventory of general issue metal license plates. Dealers provide customers with a general issue metal plate when selling a vehicle. And these plates will serve as a buyer's permanent registration, and customers will obtain the registration sticker from the dealership once a process has been approved by the county. Registration stickers can be printed by a dealer if they are a dealer deputy. So here are your responsibilities as a dealer. A dealer is required to issue 2 plates and enter information into the inventory management system. You must electronically apply for the title registration to the vehicle you've sold within 30 days of the sale through Web Dealer, or 45 days if it's seller finance. When acquiring a vehicle to resell, the dealer must remove the plates and securely store them until the sale of the vehicle. So remember, the license plates follow the vehicle. Dealers must have the ability to issue replacements in the event the original plate is damaged. A replacement would maintain the original date of the sale. So here's your general issue plate permitted uses. They will be issued to a retail purchaser by the dealer at the time of the sale. That vehicle must have a current emissions inspection if it's titled in Texas in an emission county. The buyer must keep a receipt in the vehicle until it's registered. So be sure to remind your buyer to keep a receipt in the vehicle until it's registered. And that plate is valid during the registration period. It must be displayed and properly secured in the front and rear placeholder. When a customer sells a vehicle or trades a vehicle into you as a dealer, the general issue plate registered to the vehicle will stay with that vehicle. So what you'll do when you take in a trade or buy a vehicle from an individual, you're going to store those plates securely, and then you'll assign them to the next person who purchases that vehicle. Now, specialty and personalized plates would be retained by the customer. So when you have purchased a vehicle to resell, or you've taken a trade-in, you're going to take the license plates off the vehicle. You'll store them securely while the vehicle is for sale. When you've sold the vehicle, you will reattach the license plate to the vehicle when it's sold. So be sure to display a properly secured license plate on the front of the vehicle, as you see right here, and be sure to properly secure the license plates on the rear of the vehicle as well, like you see right here. So remember, general issue plates will remain with the vehicle at the time of sale or transfer to the dealer, and the dealer must remove and store each license plate and reassign the license plate once the vehicle has sold to the next retail customer. Now, for a private sale, also that plate would remain with the vehicle when it's sold. Customers can request replacement plates from the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles. So be sure that you're following the guidelines for registering general license plates. When selling a vehicle, remember the general license plate stays with or follows the specific vehicle. Next, I want to first show you a metal dealer license plate and a dealer temporary license plate. Once again, this is a metal dealer license plate. And this is a dealer temporary license plate. These are different plates that every dealer needs to be aware of how to use them correctly. Here you see a metal dealer license plate. As a Texas used motor vehicle dealer, you will be issued metal dealer plates, often referred to as dealer tags or metal plates. The Texas Department of Motor Vehicles has very strict standards that you must abide by in order to keep your dealer license plates, and you must ensure that your metal dealer plates are being used correctly. Most, but not all, GDN dealers may receive up to 2 dealer plates when applying for your license. Wholesale dealers may only receive 1 plate when they're applying and only 1 additional plate, regardless of vehicle sales. You must mount the plate on the rear license plate mount as you see right here. You may not place a dealer plate in the window or use a license plate magnet and affix it to the trunk. It must be properly mounted like a normal license plate. The number of dealer plates may be purchased depends on the number of sales and your license types. Motor vehicle dealers may apply for metal dealer plates for all vehicles that the dealer is licensed to sell and may only use dealer plates on vehicles included or covered under your specific dealer license. For example, a dealer who is only licensed to sell cars and light trucks may use a dealer plate on a car or light truck in the dealer's inventory and never on a motorcycle or a trailer. When you're renewing your dealer license, you can cancel plates upon renewal if that's convenient. So let's say, for example, you have 2 metal dealer plates, and when you renew your license, maybe you only want 1, then you could cancel your current plates upon renewal. And by the way, anybody that holds a GDN wholesale auction license, they are not allowed to have dealer plates. Only 1 metal dealer plate is required per vehicle. It's displayed in the rear license plate holder, as you see right here. And that plate expires when the dealer license expires. During your dealer license renewal period, the license holder does have the option to order new plates or renew existing metal plates. And in that case, the department would issue new year stickers to the renewed plates. So let's go ahead and cover the guidelines for usage of a metal dealer license plates. Texas dealers can legally display metal dealer plates on the following vehicles: personal use vehicles, on a vehicle that a dealer is licensed to sell, never on a vehicle that you're not licensed to sell. They may only be placed on vehicles that you are licensed to sell. They can be placed only on vehicles for which the dealer possesses properly assigned ownership documents. Also, they can only be placed on vehicles with a current inspection if it's in a Texas emissions county. They can be loaned to a customer during vehicle repairs, or maybe when you're transporting to another dealer premises, or demonstrating a vehicle to a prospective buyer, say, for example, during a test drive, or possibly you can use them transferring them from state line or an unloading point. You can use them to road test the vehicle to make sure that vehicle is in good mechanical condition. They're also allowed to be used by charitable organizations or transporting to a repair service location. So you have to take a vehicle over to a service shop to get it repaired. You can certainly do that. Now let's go over prohibited metal dealer license plate use. This is what you cannot do with a metal dealer license plate. You can never place it on a vehicle towing another vehicle, or on any vehicle towing a load, on any vehicle that's not titled in the dealership name, on a courtesy vehicle. Now, a courtesy vehicle is a vehicle that you may have to license, and this would be something maybe you've got some dealership stickers on that you loan out to somebody when their vehicle is being repaired. Now, if it's just a demo, you can use your metal plate to loan out a vehicle while you're repairing a customer's vehicle. But if you have a specific courtesy vehicle, say, for example, an official vehicle that you use that has your dealership stickers all over it, you could not put a metal dealer plate on that vehicle. You cannot put them on any dealer-owned vehicle that's loaned to a school, or any vehicle the dealer is not licensed to sell, as I stated earlier. Or you can never place them on any vehicle with signage attached, such as large stickers that advertise your dealership name. You may never place a dealer plate on a truck that's pulling other vehicles or on a loaded trailer. If you use a truck to transport your vehicles to and from dealer auctions, you'll need a tax title and license that truck in your dealership's name. Let's say, for example, you stack several trailers on top of another trailer when transferring them to your dealership. You could not place a dealer plate on the bottom trailer. In this case, the bottom trailer would need to be licensed in the dealership name because it's now what we call a service vehicle. Dealer plates may not be displayed on any motor vehicle, trailer, or boat that is used for service or used as a wrecking vehicle. Now, I want to show you how to use a plate that is a little bit different. This is referred to as your dealer temporary license plate. Dealer temporary license plates may be used on vehicles the dealer is licensed to sell, only on vehicles that you're licensed to sell. Just like the other plate, they're not to be placed on a vehicle that you're not licensed to sell. They're only to be placed on vehicles for which the dealer possesses properly assigned ownership documents, for vehicles with a current inspection in emissions counties. You can loan them to a customer during vehicle repairs. You can transport vehicles to other dealer premises. You can demonstrate a vehicle to prospective buyer. That test drive is allowed. Transferring from state line unloading points, road testing the vehicle. They are allowed to be used by charitable organizations or transporting to repair service locations. Now I want to talk about the prohibited use of dealer temporary license plates. A dealer temporary license plate may never be used on a personal vehicle. And you will need to be aware that this is the main difference between a metal dealer license plate and a dealer temporary license plate. A dealer temporary license plate may never be used on a personal vehicle, but a metal dealer plate is allowed to be placed on a personal vehicle. That's the one big difference that you definitely need to be aware of. You can never place these on a vehicle towing another vehicle, on any vehicle towing a load, on any vehicle not titled in the dealership name, on a courtesy vehicle, on any dealer-owned vehicle loaned to a school, on any vehicle the dealer is not licensed to sell, on any vehicle with signage attached, such as large stickers that advertise your dealership. So here you can see on this graph, you are allowed to use a dealer temporary license plate in the same scenarios as a metal dealer plate, with the only exception being that you may not place a dealer temporary license plate on a personal use vehicle. So remember, you can place a metal dealer plate on a personal vehicle, but you may not place a dealer temporary plate on a personal vehicle. So please be sure that you're using your dealer plates correctly. Now I want to talk about your metal dealer license plate law. You are required by state law to keep an accurate record of your metal dealer license plates on a metal dealer license plate log. The dealer license plate log must contain the assigned plate number, the year, make of the vehicle displaying the plate, the vehicle identification number, and the name of the person in control of that vehicle. Here you see an example of a dealer plate log. So always be sure to enter the plate number, the model it was placed upon, the vehicle's VIN, the date it was issued, and the name of any drivers of that vehicle. So you must keep a dealer plate log in your records at all times. This is a state law. And then this could be required to be produced upon any request during a records inspection by Texas Department of Motor Vehicles personnel during normal business hours. Any dealer plates that are not accounted for could be voided by the state. And here you see your dealer plate fees. For your metal dealer license plates, you'll pay $90 for a 2-year term, which will coincide with your licensing term. And as you see over to the right, you'll see the fee for your dealer temporary plates, which are $10. The next plate we're going to discuss is known as an out-of-state buyer plate, as you see right here. An out-of-state buyer plate is used when you sell a vehicle to someone that lives outside the state of Texas. You would never issue this to a customer that lives in Texas. It's only issued to an out-of-state buyer. It's used for vehicles sold to out-of-state buyers. I want you to be aware an out-of-state buyer license plate expires 60 days after it's issued, which gives your out-of-state customers plenty of time to register the vehicle in their home state. You may not issue an out-of-state buyer plate when you're exporting a vehicle to another country. That's your out-of-state buyer plate. Next, I want to talk about your buyer provisional plate. A buyer provisional plate may be issued if the dealer does not have the applicable license plate available for the type of the vehicle the buyer is purchasing. So this is for short-term use, and the license plate is valid until a permanent plate is issued, but they always expire 7 days after the permanent plate is assigned, and also these may not be used for export. These plates do not display an expiration date. Instead, they automatically expire 7 days after the permanent plate is assigned to the vehicle you've sold. So for a buyer provisional plate, the application will clearly indicate the permanent plate type. All the necessary fees for that plate will be calculated and collected up front. And then once that application is submitted through WebDealer, it's reviewed by the county staff. Upon approval, county staff will generate what's known as a windshield sticker and officially assign the permanent plate to the vehicle. There is a plate exchange process that I want you to be aware of when it comes to a buyer provisional plate. The buyer will need to return that plate to the dealer, hand over the buyer provisional plate, and pick up the permanent plate along with the windshield sticker. And this process ensures a smooth transition from temporary plates to a permanent registration while accommodating the buyer's specific plate preferences. The next plate we will discuss is known as a temporary registration plate. A temporary registration plate is for temporary registration, and it replaced those old one-time, one-trip tags and 30-day permits, if you remember those. These are only issued by county tax offices and Texas Department of Motor Vehicle Regional Service Centers. These are not issued by dealers. Once again, these are not issued by dealers, but I believe every dealer needs to definitely be aware of a temporary registration plate. Now, I want to show you how to order your plates. And this process is very similar to how dealers currently order their dealer metal plates. The distribution of dealer temporary plates that I just showed you, it's administered by the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles. So dealers can order plates through what's called the inventory management system once you've received your license. And then you can get plates for vehicle sales for every 3 months. And the number of dealer temporary plates allotment is based on the number of vehicles sold by you in the previous year. So requests are submitted in that new license plate system. So you can use the plate stickers option in e-licensing, as you see on this slide. So remember earlier in the course when I showed you how to apply for your license, you clicked on the apply for license at the top, or possibly you're renewing your license. Just go down and go over and click on the plate stickers option to order your new plates, as well as reporting any missing, stolen, or damaged plates or stickers. As a side note, I want to make sure you never ever leave one of your dealer plates on a vehicle on your lot overnight. They are often stolen. I just want you to be aware thieves love dealer plates, so you definitely want to keep a good eye on your dealer plates. They are stolen quite often. And if you ever have a dealer license plate stolen, or if it's missing or damaged, you can go ahead and select the plate stickers option in e-licensing and let the state know about that. The state does have limits on the number of metal dealer plates that you can have. So this table right here shows you from the Texas Department of Motor Vehicle website. It explains the dealer plate allowance guidelines. The number of dealer plates you are issued depends on your license type and the number of vehicles that you have sold. Independent used motor vehicle dealers, travel trailer dealers, utility trailer or semi-trailer dealers, used motorcycle dealers, and independent mobility dealers are limited to 2 metal dealer plates the first year that you're in business. A wholesale dealer may only have 1 plate according to state law. Upon renewal of your dealer license, independent used motor vehicle dealers, travel trailer dealers, utility trailer or semi-trailer dealers, used motorcycle dealers, and independent mobility dealers are eligible for a total of 3 plates. Wholesale dealers are still only allowed 1 plate at renewal. Additional plates. If it's renewal time and you've already reached the maximum allowed plates, you may submit a VIT document or other proof of sales with your renewal application to receive additional plates. Proof of sales for the previous 12-month period could consist of a copy of your most recent vehicle inventory tax declaration or monthly statements filed with the taxing authority in the county of the dealer's license location. VIT must be submitted each time with your renewal. If a dealer needs more plates than what you're allotted, a dealer may request a waiver of the plate limits by submitting a statement where they state why additional plates are necessary for the operation of their business. Wholesale dealers may never apply for a waiver. I want to talk to you about the Department of Motor Vehicles direct-to-dealer distribution. So, dealer plates are shipped by a centralized warehouse operated by a private contractor in what's called the inventory management system. It's used to track plate allocation and order and receive inventory. The inventory management system will notify the distribution contractor when to ship plates to individual dealers. Dealers are required to keep plates in secure locations as required by the Department of Motor Vehicles. The inventory management system for plates is a real simplified plate management order system. It tracks, assigns plates directly through the inventory management system. and it gives enhanced support from the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles for those plate orders as well. So just please do keep that in mind, and you will definitely need to be aware of this when you're ordering your dealer plates. As a dealer, you also need to be aware of your license plate storage requirements, and this is in state law, so I want you to be aware of this. Dealer plates must be kept in either a locked room or closet or securely locked safe or cabinets bolted or affixed to the floor or the wall. I just want to repeat that important information. You must keep your plates in either a locked room or closet or securely locked safes or cabinets bolted or affixed to the floor or the wall. You're going to need to control employee access, so you've got to monitor access to those plate inventories and ensure your plates are only being used for legitimate vehicle sales. So if you ever have a voided plate, they must be marked as voided or either destroyed, recycled, or returned to the Department of Motor Vehicles. I want to also talk to you about the Compliance Monitoring Service. This is a new division that was created under state law. And what they're going to do, they're basically going to possibly pop in and do an inspection. They are a new services section within the Enforcement Division. So they can actually come in and do inspections to verify that your license inventory management current. They can also identify and report any violations. But they're also going to educate and guide dealers on new requirements. So there's a definite collaboration between the new Compliance Monitoring Service, which was created under new state law, and that Dealer Compliance Services is a section within the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles Enforcement Division.